AI actors. Now, there is a lot to unpack with that topic and a lot of discussion to be had around it. But today I want to talk about something that I don't think has been discussed as much, and it came up in a conversation I was having the other day, and that's the idea of fans and fandom, and how does this idea of an AI actor affect the fan? So I feel as a society, we tend to form communities, right? And fandoms are a different type of community. And when a fandom is formed, it's not just because people become fans of the content itself, of the movie itself, the music itself. That's where it starts. But then people tend to go and follow people on social media. We tend to hope to meet them in the streets. Honestly, a lot of us tend to live in that little bit of Delulu land where we're like, oh, maybe we're going to meet this person one day. I mean, when One Direction came to South Africa, I was like, let's go to Nando's. Maybe Niall Horan will be there. But it's obviously a little bit in jest and stuff, but we like to play with the idea of it as fans because we've built this sort of community and we like understanding the people behind the art. Basically, we feel connected more to the art when we start hearing about how it was created. I think that comes from this idea that we want to be inspired by the people who are creating the things that we love. And I feel like there is a beautiful connection in that would be lost with AI. I mean, that's why we follow people on social media, why we interact with bloopers and behind the scenes content, and why we watch interviews with people who write songs and music, because we want to know what they're thinking when they're writing, and even writers for movies and plays. We want to understand the inspiration behind the play. We want to know the deeper meaning, and I think that is something that essentially creates a deeper connection with the art itself. It brings that sense of humanity to the art because these artists are essentially sharing a piece of themselves with us. You know, every time someone gets up on a stage, writes music, writes a play, anything at all, any type of creativity, they are sharing a piece of their soul. I watched a video that Charlie Puth posted the other day about how music has certain imperfections that AI can't recreate because it aims to be perfect, you know, it's a perfect algorithm basically that is creating this very uniform sense of music. Meanwhile, there is beauty in imperfection. Even actors, like, you see what I'm doing now. I'm stuttering a little bit. I'm a tad awkward. It brings a sense of humanity, a sense of relatability, even charm sometimes. And that is what people can connect to. It's these little nuances that make an actor relatable when we're watching a show. It's why Friends was so successful. All the characters have these little quirks about them that make people love them. And AI can maybe try to replicate that, but it'll always be calculated in some way. It'll always be very robotic. It'll be a replication, but it won't be genuine. I think that's why AI sometimes doesn't feel, there's something uncanny about it. There's something that isn't connecting. There is a distance between the audience because they can't relate. They can't exactly feel that connection with another human being. One of my favorite quotes is, "Acting is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances." That means that we have to act in the moment. We have to respond to what we are receiving. And overthinking essentially kills acting. Let's be honest. When we tend to overthink things, you can see it in the actor's face. You can tell when someone is thinking about their lines or thinking about what they're going to do next instead of responding to what's happening in that moment. And AI is basically the epitome of overthinking if you think about it, because the way it works is it's obviously calculated everything that it's going to do. It knows what is going to happen next. So it can't really respond truthfully because everything is already calculated. So that's where the human touch is missing, and that is where the audience is going to have that kind of disconnect, because it's not an actual human being behind the character being portrayed. So at the end of the day, I think other than the actual like human drive to be creative and to express oneself, I think that fandom is going to be one of the things that really keeps the creative industry alive. And that goes for all types of media, even like influencers, writers, singers, actors, all of it. I think that that is going to be the thing that AI just can't replicate, that is always going to have that distance between them and the fans of the media if it develops fans, right? Because I think that, you know, we like to know things. We are curious creatures. We like to interact with people. We want to watch interviews. We want to know what goes on behind the scenes. We want to know what goes into making something, you know? And I think that that is something that is going to be really important moving forward, and something that is going to really keep things alive. Unless, of course, we get to a point where it's kind of like a movie where AI robots suddenly develop human emotions and a conscience and all of that, then I think that would be a very different discussion for another time in the future, if that were to happen.